Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle and I'm the owner of Damn Fancy Creations and the Drunk Flamingo. And today we are going to be making a patriotic shorty tumbler with a technique I haven't used in quite a while, which is spider gel. If y'all are in my Drunk Flamingo group, you may have already seen part of this tutorial. I did do half of it as a live in the group, but I like to take those lives and turn them into a more condensed version of the tutorial. So if you guys need to go back and rewatch something, you can do so without taking an hour or two of your time. Everything you see here will be covered in today's tutorial. Don't forget to check the description, which is where I list all items needed to recreate this tutorial, as well as discount codes from my favorite suppliers. And before we get started on this tutorial, make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my newest tutorials that drop. All right, y'all, let's jump into it. Alright y'all, so here is the pattern we're going to be using. This one was part of May's flock box. I had lots of fun patriotic patterns in there, including some balloon dogs. They are now up on my site for individual purchase if you want to snag some. And for this tumbler, it's just a shorty cup, and I wanted to do a half wrap. So I basically just measured the height of the tumbler and then half of the circumference. And then I also grabbed the decal that I was going to use and kind of held it up to the tumbler to make sure that that decal was not going to overlap the vinyl. So once I was happy with my cut, I'm going to grab my cup cradle from CamiPaige Boutique and draw a straight line. If you guys do not have tools from Brooke, I definitely suggest them. We have a discount code, which is Damn Fancy. And the straight line just really helps you line up that vinyl so you're not constantly having to readjust it and kind of guess if it's straight. So once I have that vinyl on, I'm also going to grab my edging tool from Brooke. And we're going to edge the bottom of our tumbler. This just gives a really nice straight line. And then I had to decide how I was going to apply my glitter. I didn't know if I wanted to do an ombre or something else with it, so I finally landed on doing a ombre gradient, but not a vertical ombre. We're doing a horizontal one, so the blue is going to kind of fall to the center, and the white is going to fall from the center outward. So I'm using Very Patriotic and white linen. If you guys do not know already, Brooke did take over my glitter side of my business, and all of my colors that I carried on the Drunk Flamingo are now available on CamiPaige. So we're going to apply a decent coat of glitter glue. And I like glitter glue because it is nothing like Mod Podge. It's very similar to applying glitter with epoxy or a resin. It evens out and it really kind of soaks up that glitter and gives a nice finish. It isn't patchy or doesn't dry funny like Mod Podge. And once I get a good coat of the glitter glue on my tumbler, we're going to apply the glitter. And if you guys have watched any of my tutorials that I do ombres on, you will see this tea strainer. I use it for all of my ombres or gradients, anything like that. I just think it gets such a good blend of colors. So I am just kind of cascading this glitter down the side of the tumbler, and the higher you hold this tea strainer, the more kind of spread out those glitter grains are going to be. So I applied my blue. I just applied it kind of halfway to the center, And now we're going in with white linen, and we're starting in the center and then kind of cascading that glitter outward or into the blue. And you can just kind of play with the glitter mixture until you're happy with how it looks. You can go back and apply a little bit more blue if you want, but I was really happy with this. So I'm going to let it dry, spray seal it with Rust-Oleum 2 times, and then epoxy 2 times. So this is our tumbler, epoxied twice and sanded. That's why it looks very dull. And this is kind of where my live video started. So if you guys have not used spider gel, this is what it is. They come in these little pots, and it's kind of like I don't even know, a sticky consistency, almost like taffy. So I just pick it up with my little ball tools, just a really small one. And I just wrap it around that ball tool until I get like a decent amount on there. You don't need a whole lot. And then you're going to stick it to the tumbler, and then pull it to another part of your tumbler and kind of just touch it to the tumbler. So you're just going back and forth with the spider gel. So touch, 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 touch. So you're just going to do this until you are happy with your little design or whatever it is that you're creating. I do have another tumbler that I use spider gel on that people really loved, so I will link that here in the video. You should see a little card pop up. You can click on that and that will take you to my other video. And for that one, I just used black spider gel. So for this one, since I was using multiple colors, I did cure each color in between the color application because I did not want the colors to blend into each other. So the white is cured. I only cured it for maybe 20 seconds, just enough to get it tacky. So we're going to get out the blue, and we're going to do the same thing with this color. We are just going to get a little bit on our ball tool and touch, 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 touch. And a trick that I said while we were live is that the slower that you move, the thicker your lines are going to be. So if you want your lines thicker, just move your tool slower, because the quicker you pull that spider gel, that's going to thin out that line. So lastly, we're going to do the red. And I will suggest, if you have never used spider gel before, I would practice on a sheet of paper or even a tumbler, like a blank tumbler that you can just wipe off, because it is very messy if you have never used it before. It is a little tricky to work with. It definitely took me a few tries to kind of figure out how much of the gel I needed to get on my little ball tool. So there's definitely some learning curves involved, but it's a really fun material to work with. So I'm going back and adding a little bit more white because I was a little bit heavy with the red and the blue. So I'm just showing my live audience what it looks like. So now we're going to do the other side, and we are just going to do the exact same thing. And if you guys did not know, spider gel is actually used for nail art. But of course, as crafters, have to find different ways to use stuff. And you guys can also see that when I'm applying this to my tumbler, I'm not just applying it in a straight line. I'm kind of crossing over, doing a zigzag pattern. And I love how this turned out. I could have just put pinstripes separating the glitter and the vinyl, but I definitely wanted something more fun and different. And I love how this turned out. So we're just going to put up all of our spider gel when we're done, because you do not want to get this stuff stuck to you, because it is like a thick gel nail polish. So make sure you put all your little pots away before you try to decal it or move to your next step. You don't want this stuff all over you. So after the spider gel is cured, we're going to put our decal on, and I'm using the new tilted cup cradle from CamiPaige Boutique. I love this. Usually when I'm decaling, I hold it in my lap, but this tilted cradle makes it so much easier to just see where you're placing it versus a flat surface. I think this was a brilliant idea. So I'm just going to take my decal and just eyeball it. It's pretty easy. It's a pretty simple decal. So we just placed it in the center, and I was really happy with how this turned out. I then took my cup downstairs. I put one layer of epoxy on it, and then I kind of felt the spider gel to see if it was kind of too thick. You can sand it if you want to. If you don't want that texture, you can definitely sand it down a little bit. I don't necessarily mind the texture. I think it just gives it a little something extra. So if there's a little bit of texture, I don't mind it. So here are the finished pictures of the cup. I think it turned out so cute. It would be a perfect cup for a summer barbecue to put your drink in. I love it. I know on the live, several of you guys said that you had never worked with spider gel before, so if you decided to take a chance and order some spider gel and work with it, please post your pictures in the group. I love to see what you guys come up with and what sorts of things inspire you. And I hope for those of you that may be new to spider gel found this tutorial helpful. And thanks for watching. If y'all enjoyed this tutorial or learned something new, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to catch the next video coming up that was picked just for you. As always, if you're looking for more tips, tricks, or tutorials, be sure to check out my Damn Fancy tutorial group or my Drunk Flamingo group. Both are linked in the description. Thanks for watching.